Hi, I'm Keith. I'm your GM, your Keeper of Secrets, and with me today is our cast for Echoes of Elsewhere. I have Blake Emberlich, I have Dr. Elliot Knight, I have Vince Pascal, I have Professor Gregor, and Ivan Petrovich III, famous detective from
Detective.
Russia,
Hey.
who's joining us today. We are on our first assignment for Circus Lucis, which is missing people at Changeable Entertainment. They are doing a circus show, a Halloween themed, spooky themed, vampire themed Halloween show. And 18 people went into a circus tent at 11 p.m. on Monday, October 13th. Nobody ever came back out. You investigated the area, you searched the area, and you discovered two things. One, you have a habit of stabbing yourself with various devices. Two, there was some type of altercation that took place inside of the big top. Chairs were tossed around. Somebody was bleeding a good bit. There was a bar that had not been opened, but plenty of liquor in the place. And everything was confined, all the damage was confined to the circle that was the center ring of the big top. Vince and Professor Gregor had gone outside to tend to their injuries. Matching handkerchiefs wrapped around him. And that's when they notice the tent outside the chain link fence that was in the parking lot. This tent, which is a circular tent, has a canopy across the top of it that kind of flows down the side. It's extremely colorful, red and blues and purples and yellows and greens, and it spirals over the place. And in front of it is a banner. The banner is probably 6 foot high, at least 3 foot wide. In the center of the banner is an eye. Below in the lower third of the banner is a crystal wall, smoke filling it. And in the top of the banner, you see a spread of tarot cards. There's a flickering light hanging next to the entrance to the tent. The opening is just like a little awning, and it's shadows within. But the flickering light next to it says open. Walk-ins welcome.
I think if Vince sees this first, he'll kind of stare at it wide-eyed, and then he will go and gather everybody and say, this looks like our kind of weird.
It is time to investigate.
When we step outside, looking over it, was that there when we came in?
Sorry, I think what Vince says is, this looks like our kind of weird.
And when you do that, Ivan puts his hand under your chin and pushes it up a bit so you're...
After night, you have no recollection of this tent being there before.
I'm going to quickly pull up the videos that we went through from the security camera footage, or rather, I'm going to just ask Diana to look and see if this was here when we came in.
Was not.
Interesting.
You can go back and track the video footage, and it is not there.
Hell yeah.
You don't see it.
I'm going to go ahead.
Yeah, let's go
in the fight scenes. You don't see it you see yourself arriving in and talking to Jenny, the ticket taker, and you would have that camera angle would have a clear view of this, and it is not there.
This is our type of weird. You're absolutely right, Vince. This wasn't here
Let's
when
go
we
inside.
walked in. I agree.
It says walk-ins welcome.
Okay, I'm going to gather all my vampire fighting tools and make sure I have those on hand before we head inside.
Does Vince run back to the car or something holding his nose?
Totally. I'll be right there. I'll be right there in a sec. And he goes and grabs this big duffel bag full of religious paraphernalia. It's got everything you can think of that the manor had, not just Christianity, but Jewish things, Muslim things, Buddhist things, anything that the manor has is in this bag.
Danny, the driver / security / mechanic, is still in the SUV. And he sees you running over with his bloody nose. And he gets out of the SUV. I was supposed to keep an eye on you. I figured you'd be safe in there.
Safe is a relative
term. Do you need backup?
No, I think I don't know. I think we're fine. We just have to go investigate this tent that appeared out of nowhere. I'm just going to go get my vampire tools and go do that.
And Danny goes, well, that tent's been there forever. It was there when we pulled in.
It really wasn't, I promise.
All right. I think I would have noticed if someone put a 10 up while I was sitting here. Nobody did.
That's why this is our kind of weird. We need to go investigate this.
All right. Okay. Do you need anything? Do you need backup? Do you need a Band-Aid?
I don't think a Band-Aid is going to help this situation. I have Kleenex up there. It's fine.
Danny looks at you, goes back into the car, and makes himself comfortable as you get your vampire hunting supplies out of there.
Did he have a Band-Aid of some variety? I've got this nasty cut on my finger, Vince.
Shit, I didn't ask. I didn't. You can go ask him.
First aid kit in the back of the car.
Danny, do you have a first aid kit by chance?
Yes, we do. We have a first aid kit. Do you wish to apply first aid to your finger?
I'll ask Danny for help. Can you help me with this? Can only use one hand.
Go ahead and roll percentile die for me
All right, no worries.
as he
I haven't had a
applies
lot of luck.
Mhm.
It looks like Danny's on it though.
29. That's pretty good. Danny wraps it up, puts some antibiotic ointment on top of it, wraps it up, and goes, "You might need a stitch or two on this." So as soon as we're done here, we should probably get a stitch for it. But he does heal you up, and you can get your hit point back. You still suffer the disadvantage on rolls using your hand because you have now this giant ball of gauze on your thumb.
That makes sense, yeah. I'll head back.
Okay, but you don't have the hit point damage. You're outside. There's a tent.
I think Vince heads straight towards it. Also, I'm going to stop doing the nose voice because I think we get the point.
Jenny's looking at the tent, and she's acting like it was always there, too. You go into the tent. There isn't really a flap on the tent. As you start to approach the awning where the entrance is, it's dark. And as you walk through, it's like you walk from the darkness into this candle-lit area. There's a number of black candles burning in candelabras along the edges of the tent. I'm sure Ivan's thinking that the fire marshal would not approve of the proximity of all these open flames to all this material. In the center of the tent is a circular table. There is this tablecloth that matches the tent itself with the colorful patterns on it and weaves. And in the center of it is a deck of cards. Sitting on the other side, hunched over, gray hair just falling down around her head, shoulders, and her head, crazy like, is an old woman. And she looks up at you, and her left eye is clouded over. Her right eye is this vivid blue. And it's with that right eye that she watches as you come in. I have been expecting somebody like you, all of you. Interesting. I thought there actually might be more. Please come in. Have a seat. And as she says has a seat, she kind of waves her hand. And you notice almost as if on cue, the lights shift in the room to reveal 5 chairs along the wall of the outside edge of the tent.
I sit in one of the chairs.
Yeah. No, bring it in closer. Bring it closer to the table.
Bring the chair closer.
Ivan swears some Russian swear and says "vidma," which is a word for like an old witch, and looks around. Did he remember anything happening or anything weird with the tarot cards as he walked in? Because he was looking at them as he walked in. Sorry to go back a few seconds.
Make a spot hidden for me as you walked in.
Okay. 24. That definitely does. I know I have like 80, I think. 24 out of 80.
As you walk in, the tarot cards seem to be like tarot cards, what you'd expect tarot cards to be. But you just saw Professor Gregor cut his thumb open. And you notice that as she reaches for the cards in front of her, she has a similar cut on her left thumb. Not nearly as bad, proficiently done. And as someone who works with her hands, you can see that she has a number of scars across the fingertips.
She says witch again, and he sits down.
I pause for a little while, and then seeing Ivan sit down, I'll join.
There's nothing to fear. Come, sit.
A chair and move forward.
You grab a chair and pull forward. And her good eye locks on Professor Gregor.
Mr. Gregor grabs a seat and pulls it to the table. He's also sort of squinting at the cards, not sure.
She sees you squinting at the cards, and she pushes them in your direction.
All right, I'll look at them.
Shuffle them, cut them, and draw a card for me.
Very well.
He also brought pops.
I also brought props. Alas, these are not tarot cards. They're my Agatha Christie playing cards. But
Agatha Christie, that's awesome.
Yeah, thanks. He picks a card after.
Okay.
I imagine he does not draw Jane Marple, the Queen of Spades, in this particular case.
She takes the card and she puts it in front of her to her left. This card tells of history, knowledge of the ancients. It will help you better understand your enemy. This is the tax collector. The Vistani have what you seek. A missing child holds to the key to the treasure's release. She takes the cards from you and she hands it to Ivan, pushes the cards to Ivan.
He slaps his hand down on it. The card that
Thud.
looks really small. He sort of just shuffles it like in a really weird way, grabs the top card, puts it down, doesn't look at it, and stares at her in the eye. Vedma. What is it?
She takes the card and she puts it on her right. This card speaks of power and strength. It tells of a weapon of vengeance, a sword of light. The druid, she speaks of an evil tree that grows atop a hill of graves where the ancient dead sleep. The ravens can guide you. Look there.
Sleepy crazy.
Professor Gregor. Sorry, already did it right. Dr. Elliot. She slides the cards to you next.
Elliot shuffles a few times, and as he's shuffling, he kind of like messes up a little bit, and 2 cards fall out. And he just like looks, and he's just like, dealer's choice.
She holds her hand out, waiting for you to offer her one of the cards.
All right. And then he's just going to grab them. He's going to shuffle those 2, and he just tosses one. And he just holds on to the other one for a second.
Places the card slightly above the 2 that she already flipped over. This card tells of the powerful force for good and protection. It's a holy symbol of great hope. It is the monk. The symbol you seek is hidden behind the sun in the house of a saint. Vince, she passes the cards to you next.
So I try to pick up the cards and shuffle them one-handed while still holding my nose closed, and in the process, all the cards just fall on the floor. And I scramble around and pick all of them up, and just embarrassed and just red-faced, and just gather all the cards up as best as I can, and just like hand one to her and just say, "Oh God, I'm so sorry."
She softly caresses your hand as you offer her the card. And she puts it underneath the 3 that she already has, creating a slight cross-like pattern in front of her. You are not alone. This card sheds lights on one who will help you greatly in the battle against darkness. He is the broken one. I see a man of faith whose sanity hangs by a thread. He has lost someone close to him. She then moves the cards over to Blake.
I stare at the cards, but then I put on a humoring smile and just flip over the top card.
As you flip over the cards, her hand reaches for it and she pulls back. She bites her lip. Her good eye goes wide. Your enemy is a creature of darkness whose powers are beyond mortality. This card will lead you to him. As she lifts the card up and shows you to, a gust of wind blows to the tent. It actually catches the card from her hand. It spins in the air, letting everyone see it for a second, and then it falls face up in the center of the spread. It is the beast. He sits upon his throne. He waits for you. And then she coughs, like up a lung. She reaches for a bottle and she takes a drink out of it. It's hard to tell what the bottle contains. It is wrapped in cloth and scarves are hanging down from it.
Like claps a little bit. Like
another gust of wind flows through the tent. You are amused?
Yeah, good show.
I do appreciate when my guests enjoy the reading. And somehow you're not quite sure where it came from. A little wooden tray bowl slides into the center of the table. You're pretty sure she slid on the table, but you didn't see her hand move. There's a few loose bills in the center of it.
I'll throw in a couple of dollars.
Vince
Elliot pulls a bill out of, tosses it in,
Vince says, Dr. Knight's got mine.
pulls out a second bill, tosses it in.
I pay in Russian money.
You see some rubles getting tossed in there, a beat lands on top of it.
It's probably worth more than the money.
Another gust of wind comes through the tent. This one's a little stronger than the first one. The light candles that are burning go out. The tent is plunged into darkness. There's a smell you haven't noticed before. Rot, mold, like an old swamp that you might have gone through. You feel a chill come over you. Your skin becomes damp. It's almost impossible to see. It's so dark. You feel this mist surrounding you. You feel it pulling at you. You look around and you realize you're alone. You don't see the others. You don't see the woman. You are standing. You don't remember standing up, but the chair is no longer there. You put your hand out trying to find the edge of the tent to guide yourself around. You can't find it. You start moving. You're not in the tent any longer. There's a mist that clings to you. Your hair is damp. Your clothes are damp. You hear a faint cackle in the distance. It fades away. You wander the mist without any perception of time. Whether it was minutes or hours, it's hard to say. You can see your hand in front of you, but not much more than that. You're feeling odd. Your head is spinning, like maybe you had too much to drink, or you spent too much time on like the Tilda Whirl or a circus ride that spins around. Your back hurts, as if you're carrying a great burden, as if something's twisting at you. You want to throw up, but you don't. You keep it together one step after another. You're moving slowly. There's a golden glow appears in the distance. The mist around you is still there, but it just seems to be getting a little thinner. Looking to the left and right, you can see shadowy forms, your companions, Dr. Knight, Blake, Vince, Professor Ivan. You can see each other moving through the mist. Vaguely, just the shadows. You can feel gravel crunching beneath your feet. And suddenly you step onto a stone path. The glow in front of you is from a lamppost. The lamppost is short, maybe only 6 feet tall. And the lamp is not an electric light, it's an oil lantern. The flame is gently lit within its lights. You see the others for the first time. What trick is this? How can this be? You look at them, and then you look down at yourself, your hands, your body. I would need everyone here to make a sanity check, please.
Sanity. How difficult is this check?
It is just you have to roll below your sanity.
Thank you. Ivan's a pillar. I rolled 77 out of 80.
Vince rolled
Close.
a 39 out of 70.
Okay. If you made your sanity check, you lose 1 sanity point.
What does that mean? Where do I
What
do
if
that
you
on the
failed?
sheet?
I rolled a 90 out of 80.
If you failed, please roll a d4 for me.
To put that into your character sheet, go into edit mode, and then you should be able to go into the sanity box and put in the right number.
So if it's 80 out of 80, I would take it to 79 out of 80?
Correct.
Oh, thank you.
I'll go down to 77.
And anyone
also
who
lost
rolled
3
anyone
sanity.
who rolled a d4, add 1 to that,
6.
and let me know if you got a 5 or 4 is the worst I got. As you look down at your hands, your feet, your body, this is not what you saw when you woke up this morning. Elliot, without going into too much detail, what do the others see when they look at you?
I think that the others see a tallish human with long black hair. Characteristics look kind of similar to Elliot, but not quite. He's wearing a long robe, and he's in his right hand holding on to what looks like a staff. And at the top of it is a small symbol that is a circle with a 7-pointed star. And in the center of it is what looks to be a rod with a snake twirling around it.
Blake, what do they see when they look at you?
They, my companions can tell that this is Blake. There's a almost familial resemblance, but I think the difference is her hair is no longer colored purple and blue, it's black, and her ears are they come up to these fine points, and she is wearing leathers, and what you can see of her exposed skin, there's a tremendous amount of scarring. Whoever this person is, it seems like she's gone through years, maybe decades of fights and dangerous situations, but you can still tell that it's Blake somehow. There's something there.
Vince, what about when they see you?
Well, I was just posting do me last, but that's fine. The thing you see when you look at Vince is probably one of the odder things that you see, because Vince is now a reptile of some description. He looks like he's tall, much taller than he was, brawny muscles, and a face of some kind of reptile, some kind of, you can't tell what exactly is going on there. And you see him, and he's got kind of leather, looks like leather armor on, but you wouldn't know what that is. And slung across his back is some kind of musical instrument. I would tell you what color he is, but I don't remember off the top of my head, and the app isn't quite.
It's hard to tell with the reflection from the lamppost, actually.
Yeah,
It's
there you
kinda
go.
off.
Exactly. Okay, you don't know what color he is yet, but he is a lizard of some kind. Big, tall lizard. He has claws instead of human feet, and his hands are kind of clawed also.
Professor Gregor. What do we
Professor
see?
Gregor might be one of the most easy to spot. It looks like he just changed clothes, really. Instead of a suit of tweed, it's a suit of chainmail, and you don't remember him carrying a hammer that big. But I guess the only other because the physical, again, it's the spitting image. He looks essentially the same. It would be I guess it's more uncanny for someone to change into a different person, but the fact that everyone looks different and it's just Professor Gregor again is slightly uncanny. And he's got a sort of elder sign slung around his neck, which is not something he usually has on either. His elder sign is not included in Professor Gregor's usual dress code, but it might be less weird than the chainmail.
Ivan.
Well, first of all, you guys Ivan thinks he would hear a "what the fuck" when he sees Dragonborn Vince. But what comes out is, "What the hell?" And then he looks down and realizes that he can see the ground is a lot closer. He's no longer 6'7" anymore. And if you look at his face, he sort of looks the same. Thank you guys for doing this. This is so cool that there's continuity in that. But anyone who notices his teeth are like way cleaner. He's a little like more youthful. There's less gray in his hair. And when you first see him, you see him like just from the neck up, let's say cresting over a blind crest of some kind, and he's bouncing a little bit. And then you have to blink because he's riding something and he's like 3 feet tall. And you blink a couple times and you realize he's riding some kind of mechanical wolf. It almost has like a Gundam-esque face to it. And I think I put something in the green room for you guys to share. We don't need to share that on the stream, but it's just some ideal visual aids that I needed for me. And he's got really nice looking armor on. Like he's feeling really cool. Maybe not so much about being tall, but he's looking at all this gear and he's like, "This is so clean. Why do I sound American? This accent is terrible. God dang. Dang, I don't say dang." And like he kind of mutters to himself a little bit in this voice that's even deeper and just like carries a lot of weight, even though he's so tiny. And his steed looks up and turns to him and he almost yelps, "Easy, big fella." And yeah, he's got a big kite shield with a gear logo on it and a lance, like a very large lance, especially for someone so small, attached to the saddle that's on this giant, like not giant, it's like medium sized, but he's small. Robotic death hound. And also on his side hip, a pistol, and on his head, a cowboy hat. And he just comes trotting towards you guys and, "Well, this is a pickle. Hi." And that's Ivan.
All of you looking at each other, looking at yourself, are momentarily stunned. Something's changed. Did the old woman drug you? Was there something in the tent? Those are the thoughts that are going through your head. Have you been exposed to Rampage? The drug that has been working its way through New Eden. None of that makes sense.
Vince steps into the light a little bit, and you can tell now that his scales are red.
I don't think we're in Kansas anymore.
I
Beyond-
don't think we are. Whoa, what is this voice? Oh my, I don't. Hello? No?
You too.
What is, oh, hey, why am I a lizard?
Why are you a lizard?
And then I, cough a little bit and fire comes out and I'm like, blah! And I kind of stumble backwards. Okay, so that happened.
Dragon then. Most lizards don't breathe fire.
Dragons aren't real.
Look at how tall you all are. This is great. You must be 10, 15 feet tall. Looking at Vince.
I suppose I'm higher off the ground than usual, but I don't know. And then Vince feels something on his back and he pulls out and he realizes he has a lyre. And then he's like, I think I know how to play this. And he starts playing a jaunty tune. Where?
Professor?
Yes.
I feel like. Professor, what happened?
That is an excellent question.
Did you do this to us? You're the only one who looked exactly the same.
I don't think it was me. Well, hard to say. I might try to have a theory as to what happened to us. I think he'll think. I don't know if you want me to make an occult roll or an arcana roll, a knowledge arcana check here.
You
But
would
I
be
think-
making an Arcana check at this point. So let's talk mechanics here. We have switched from our Call of Cthulhu personalities to our D&D personalities. The one attribute that is maintains across everything is sanity. So please keep track of your sanity, and that sanity is still attached to you on your D&D character. Just however you want to track it is fine with me, but you need to still track your
what's
sanity
funny?
for it.
Father Greg, what's an additional parallel? I didn't realize, just sort of mechanically independently and by total chance, Father Gregor and Professor Gregor have the same number of hit points. Like exactly, they both have 24 hit points, just by some miracle.
That's funny.
Yeah.
I'll try and fix that.
Well, yeah, of course.
Brilla.
So go ahead and make an Arcana check.
Indeed. I might. Actually, I don't think it makes sense to do it at this point. I was gonna like gut instinct guidance, but I realized that might not make sense as a thing to do at the moment. But maybe in a bit. That is an 18 on the dice. Not on the dice, sorry. A 13 on the dice, and then +5 for my intelligence and my expertise.
Very good. So you have rolled an 18, trying to figure out what has happened to you. As you are trying to make sense out of this, your thoughts go to Vince drawing portals, Blake telling you about things that were there and then weren't there. The recollection of fighting a were-yeti. The village before you in the mist. You don't see cars, you don't see neon signs, just a few lanterns burning dimly in the distance, hanging from a makeshift gallows is the corpse of a wolf man hybrid crossbreed that is on the scale of the Yeti you encountered in Happy Trails. You wonder to yourself, where did the Yeti come from? New Eden is not native territory for Yetis. And now you find yourself somewhere with a creature very similar to that Yeti. And you realize whatever brought it to you may have brought you to here.
To answer your question, Vince, it seems that based off of what we learned from the circle and what we've read, our world is suffering some kind of incursion. But the incursion goes both ways, it seems, and we're the incursion going in the opposite direction. How we got here specifically, whether it be some sort of thin space or the powers of the fortune teller, I'm not sure. I'm extrapolating from what you said. I'm not sure if I'm.
Yeah, you're doing good.
Okay, it's
The mechanics of how
difficult.
you got here, you're not sure about.
Yeah,
But
yeah. I think
you were transferred.
We got here the same way the Yeti came to us when it did. I think. Just trust me, bro. Sorry,
But-
I broke character there for a second.
The problem with your theory, Professor, is that the Yeti was still a Yeti when it came into our world. It had not changed into a lizard.
Was it? It could be that it was some equivalent being on this side and became a Yeti as it moved.
But Yetis are not a normal animal in our world, are they?
Are we normal for this world?
That is an excellent question. If I query my own senses, a name comes to mind and a consciousness, and I feel like I am myself, but different. And that you should call me Rax.
Okay. Rex, it's possible that whatever came to the other side, because just to be clear, we didn't meet what came through. We met some product of what came through, if I understand correctly, the events. As you will recall, the Mike, I think his name was
Mick.
Anyway, Mick, yes. Mick was bitten by a creature that came through. Well, local for us at the time, but now, suppose, as far away as you can be from us now.
Well, I think the first outward question is, where are we?
At that, Elliot perks up and goes, Diana, where are we? And he hears nothing for a second. And you guys see a visible look of concern on his face.
Oh, shit.
He says, Diana?
Missing part of
Diana.
your brain, Doc.
And he starts like hyperventilating a little bit. I think the 4-point sanity loss from earlier is kind of exhibiting this way. He starts freaking out. And he's like, where is she? Where's my wife?
Oh,
I am with you always and forever.
who hears that?
Only Elliot
Yeah.
hears that.
Hell yeah.
She's here. Cool. What? Wait. And he like reaches in, like looking for his cell phone, and he realizes that he doesn't have it. And he reaches up and he realizes he's not wearing glasses. And he says, How are you here?
You don't remember our bond.
Of
You
course I
will.
remember our bond.
You have time to heal, to remember what you have forgotten.
Just be clear, we're hearing one side of this conversation,
Yes, you don't hear. You
right? We're all staring at Elliot just talking to himself.
which to me that's like that's a normal Tuesday. So I don't know.
I think Vince has a small smile on his face watching Dr. Knight struggle with half of his brain being missing.
So where do we go? Where do we go now? Where are we?
At this moment,
Barovia.
Lord rules over this land, but he will seek you out. He will seek you out. He will hunt you. You are not the first. And I think with that, let's call that a wrap for today. As Elliot is now talking to Diana alone.
Diana answering back.